North America is home to many mysterious civilizations and artifacts that have been left over from tribes who inhabited this land thousands of years ago. As time went by, cowboys and even pirates would leave their mark on this continent and not be discovered until centuries later. From a massive shipwreck in our Great Lakes to pioneers preserved by the dryness of the Arizona desert, here are incredible discoveries in North America. But first, quick shout out to D. Wright for leaving us this comment. Thanks for checking out our channel and be sure to keep up the good work. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Now let's get started. Number 13. Winnipesaukee Lake, Nevada. Winnipesaukee Lake is a dry lake bed in northwest Nevada and home to some of the most mysterious and oldest petroglyphs found in North America. The carvings are dated between 14,800 years and 10,500 years ago, but some claim they're much older. The area is known for a bloody battle that took place between Indians and frontiersmen that left 29 Smoke Creek Indians no longer alive. Several boulders are carved with petroglyphs that depict swirls, flowers, trees, and leaves. Although they may not be the Mona Lisa, these works of art are living proof that humans have settled this area millennia ago. The exact reason and meanings behind the carvings are still unknown, making it quite mysterious. Number 12. Underwater Stonehenge. In Lake Michigan, a formation of stone similar to Stonehenge in the United Kingdom was found not too far away from the coast of Michigan. They decided to keep the exact location a secret due to the sensitive nature of this information. Two secret treasure hunters were looking for shipwrecks when they found something that they wouldn't believe. They started to see stones line up, and they took photos of the images that came on their screen. What would something like this be here in North America? It appeared to be artificially set stones underwater, and they decided to go scuba diving to find out what exactly it is. It appeared that some stones had been carved to look like a prehistoric mastodon from granite. Last time this lake bed was dry was about 12,000 years ago. Number 11. Sir Francis Drake's coin. The Spaniards were well known for sailing in California, but now it seems like the English were here too on the west coast before Juan Perez, who charted the area. Did Sir Francis Drake discover Western Canada? Here you see the coin that was discovered by an amateur treasure seeker in the photo. What's known as an Edward VI shilling was believed to have been made between 1551 and 1553. This discovery adds support to claims that the English were indeed here before the Spanish. It is known that Drake did visit California, but many believe the claims that he went even further north. Official records that most people came across is that the Spanish were there first and made it there in 1774. So is this just a lucky find or what? Number 10. Blackbeard Ship in North Carolina. In 1966, an important piece of history was brought to the surface with the help from underwater divers off the coast of Beaufort, North Carolina. The vessel of Queen Anne's Revenge finally saw the light of day once again. This time the boat came from Blackbeard himself, and it's a true miracle this artifact from the past was brought to the surface. They came across many heavy cannons, some weighing 2,000 pounds each. 30 cannons were found total. Each cannonball that was fired weighed at least 6 pounds. More than 280,000 rare historical artifacts were found. This pirate met Davy Jones' locker in a rather gruesome fashion too. British soldiers displayed his severed head on a ship as a warning to pirates. That's just the pirate's life for you. This replica is what it would have possibly looked like at full strength, and would have struck fear into many sailors' hearts. His flag was also rather gruesome. Number 9. The Cowboy Mummy. There aren't a whole lot of mummies in North America compared to places like Egypt or Peru, but the very few mummies that have been discovered in our deserts are pretty creepy. This mummy here that we're looking at was found in the desert near Gila Bend, Arizona, and he was given the nickname of Sylvester, kind of like the cat. Rumor on the web has it that he was caught cheating while playing poker and tried to escape the angry person shooting at him by running off into the desert. He bled out and the dry desert preserved his body. However, that might have just been a story to attract some attention. It's also likely that his body was quickly preserved with an abnormal large amount of arsenic after passing. It turns out the real answer was a little bit of both stories, and he was found having buckshot in his internal organs. He's on display at the Ye Olde Curiosity Shop in Seattle, Washington. Number 8. Lovelock Cave. There are really quite a few mysterious things going on in northwestern Nevada that you might not realize. Not only was it home to the world's oldest petroglyphs, but also possibly giant skeleton remains. The mysterious Paiute tribe had many legends and tales about giants in their mythology, and they once roamed the lands where these giants were discovered. They talked about a race of giant red-haired giants who would feast on the bodies of the Paiutes, and they were known as the Sitka. Lovelock Cave had plenty of fossils of mammoths and cave bears, which would either suggest a mix-up or plenty of protein for the giants to feast on. Some of the sandals that we see in this photo were extremely large, at least 15 inches long. Mummified remains that would match details left by the Paiutes were allegedly discovered in 1911 during guano excavations. Underneath 4 feet of guano, they discovered mummies over 8 feet tall. Many claim the Smithsonian suppressed evidence of this whole incident, but in any case, it goes to show you how widespread the claims of giants are at one point. Number 7. The SS America, 1898. This awesomely named ship was one of the victims of the Isle Royale. Built in 1898, it sank 30 years later in 1928, striking a reef and capsizing off the coast of the island. It had a bumpy history in this area of the Great Lakes and had a similar incident in 1924, the only difference being that she was refloated, repaired, and returned to service. In 1927, she took some damage by colliding with another steamboat, but would make it out alive. In 1928, she was on her normal route from the town of Duluth, Minnesota, when the captain decided to hand over the wheel to the first mate for 5 minutes until he hit a reef. This time, it would not be able to refloat. A group of divers during the 1960s attempted to raise the ship and put her in service as a museum ship, but it was unsuccessful. Today, you can still visit the SS America, which is only sitting about 85 feet below the surface. Number 6. The Iowa Mammoth. Imagine being a young lad and already making cooler discoveries than some archaeologists who have a master's degree in the subject. A frightening discovery of a mammoth skeleton must have shocked these homeowners from Iowa in 2010 in the town of Oskaloosa. While the father and son duo were picking berries on their property, one of the boys thought that they saw a ball in the distance. It turns out that it's not a ball, but a 4-foot woolly mammoth femur bone that we see in this photo. Hopefully they don't leave the bones around for too long, or the family dog might enjoy a prehistoric treat. The bone discovery is said to date back to 12,000 years ago, and the family uncovered an additional 20-plus bones at the site. The femur was sent to a lab in the University of Iowa, and further excavating was done, revealing an entire skeleton except the skull. Number 5. Saddle Ridge Hoard. An extremely lucky couple hit the jackpot when they stumbled across an historic find on their property in 2013. Northern California was home to the gold rush, and so much gold was discovered at this time that someone needed to stash it. As they were simply walking their dog, they stumbled across $10 million worth of rare mint-condition coins buried next to a tree. Each of the 1,427-piece treasure dated from 1847 to 1894 and was authenticated by the co-founder of the professional coin grading service of Santa Ana. And they all checked out to be authentic. Some are so rare that they could actually fetch a price of $1 million each, and you thought stumbling across a $20 bill made you lucky. Number 4. Native Bronze. Possibly the most mysterious artifact found in Alaska dates back to 1,400 years ago. It's a bronze buckle found at Cape Espenberg that appears to have made it all the way there from China, well before the Bering Strait land bridge melted. Could the natives in this area have possibly made contact with the Chinese? Or were the Chinese here way before we were? It appeared to have been older than the house they were originally excavating, at least for a few hundred years, and the metal crafting was never really a part of their culture. Some believe that it's likely an ancient artifact and it was dropped by a Russian explorer or a whaler. But if that's not the case, could it be evidence of an advanced trade route between Asia and Alaska during the Bronze Age? Number 3. Luke Air Force Base discoveries. From 2012 to 2015, archaeologists uncovered a treasure trove of Native American artifacts that date back to 3000 BC, including an ancient dwelling. Many of the discoveries they made are at least 1,000 years older than other artifacts found in the Phoenix, Arizona Valley, but a lot of this stuff predates them by 2,000 years. This means that they could have belonged to that tribe's ancestors, and they're being closely analyzed. Other artifacts like stone tools here help them narrow down the timeline of when they had access to corn and ways to cultivate their own food. Could other Air Force bases out there be hiding some artifacts from ancient people who once lived on this land? Number 2. The Mojave Nugget. The largest known golden nugget found in California is known as the Mojave Nugget and was found in 1977 by a prospector named Ty Paulson. Weighing in at 4.9 kilograms, it's worth roughly $205,800 with the current price of gold. Who knew a hobby could result in such a life-changing discovery? The massive chunk of gold ore was found near Randsburg, California, which had a history of gold mining since 1895 when gold was first discovered. Ty Paulson is certainly happy no other pioneer was able to find this chunk of metal. It was apparently so heavy that a special gold scale had to be created for this specific specimen. It was donated to the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County, which seemed like one heck of a donation. Instead of playing the lottery, you might as well just buy a metal detector and get to work. Number 1. Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone. This egg-shaped artifact from the Stone Age seems to be a tad out of place. In 1872, people who were digging a hole to place a fence in Lake Winnipesaukee in New England came across this mysterious object. The purpose, origin, and what exactly it is still stumps archaeologists. The stone was donated to the Museum of New Hampshire History, where it was on exhibit until 1996. The stone is about 4 inches long and 2.5 inches in diameter. An archaeologist seems to believe that it was a peace offering between two different tribes. Skeptics believe it has Inuit or even Celtic backgrounds. The stone is extremely unique, and no one can quite figure out what the heck it means.
So which one did you think was the most mysterious? Let us know in the comments section. Be sure to check out more of our videos over here. I'll see you there.